Hi everyone, Kathy Myron with another tech tip focused on data protection and securing your information. So first of all, I want to do a quick shout out to Larry Kendall, who suggested today's topic, which is a deep dive into the difference between cloud sync and cloud backup. So one of the common conversations I have with business owners is why a cloud syncing service doesn't give them the same level of protection that a business grade backup solution does. And so today we'll go through what the key differences are so that you can make an informed choice as to what you feel you need to protect your data. So I'll start by saying that a cloud sync service is great for keeping a second copy of documents on another device or up in the cloud. So that will protect you against a machine that dies or a laptop that is lost or stolen. But what it's not going to do is give you complete guaranteed protection of that information in the case of something more significant like a ransomware attack or a cyber attack. And so why is that? The first is that a cloud sync service really can only protect your files or your documents. What it's not able to do is protect the databases, the applications, and the operating system that live on your machine. And so for that, you really need a full image backup service, which will take a complete snapshot of your computer and everything on it. The second difference is that when you have to go to restore files from a sync service, you need to do that one by one. So you'll browse through the version history, select the version to restore, and then you have to do that for every single file, which can be tedious and time consuming, especially in moments that matter. Whereas when you have a backup service, a true cloud backup, you can restore everything all at once. So you get an image of the machine with all of the documents and the applications and databases as of a consistent point in time, and that's really key. The third difference is around version control. So depending on which sync service you use, they may keep X number of versions or keep history for Y number of days. But in either case, that's not a setting that you control. That's something that the provider of that service is maintaining. And if you ever do any Google searches to try to see how much data they'll retain for you, you often get very different and conflicting answers. Whereas with a backup service, you're going to have a clear retention policy. So if you remember, this is geared towards business needs. And so if you have a clear compliance requirement that requires you to maintain information for X number of months or days or years, then you really need to have a retention policy that you can set organization-wide and ensures that your backups are held for 14 days, 30 days, or in the case of more sophisticated requirements, you can even do something as fancy as hourly backups for the first day, then daily backups for the next 6 days to round out a week, then weekly backups till you get to a month, then 3, 4, 6 monthly backups. So it gives you a lot of flexibility for how you can retain data over a longer period of time, but do it in a way that's very space efficient, so you're not keeping a backup copy for every single one of those days over the course of 6 months. And then the last difference is when it comes to the data itself, with a file syncing service, you have a very high rate of change. So every time you edit a file, those changes are synced to the cloud and any other devices connected to that cloud account. Now that's great for collaboration and making sure that information is accessible on the go. But if you were to delete a file, or maybe accidentally overwrite a complicated formula in an Excel spreadsheet, you're going to have to comb through that version history to go back and get a good copy of the information. Whereas with a backup service, you're going to have fixed restore points. And so the best analogy that I can make is if you think about a mountain climber. As they're climbing the mountain, they have fixed anchor points in the face so that they know if they were to fall, they're only going to lose as much ground as that last anchor point. And since you can control how often those anchor points are through your backup schedule, whether you do a backup every day or every couple of hours, you can control the tolerance you have for data loss by managing the frequency of your backups. So the bottom line is that file sync is great for many use cases, especially for busy business owners who are on the go. But if you really want to make sure that you have a pristine copy of your data and you can recover your information as of a fixed point in time, and that you can do that quickly, all at once, and in a manner that's consistent across all of your applications, then having a business grade backup solution is really the way to go. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop a like down below, leave a comment and let me know what you liked the most. And then of course, if you have ideas or topics that you'd like to see covered in a future video, please let me know that as well.